What's up guys? I wanted to jump on here and quickly highlight a brand new mod that just hit the workshop about 3 days ago called Geological Landforms. This is probably my favorite type of mod. I love biome and map mods in general. I think they just give playthroughs a fresh feel without changing how the game is played. So Geological Landforms adds 27 new map features to the game. Currently, there are about 6 map features in the vanilla game. What I mean by that is that in most biomes you can find a map tile that has a coastline, a river of some size, or it's flat, has small hills, large hills, or is mountainous. So because these 27 landforms aren't new biomes, this mod is compatible with other biome mods, because what the mod is really doing is just adding 27 new procedurally generated map types. They can be generated in any biome. Like here, I'm in one of the new map types added by Geological Landforms, but I'm also in the mycotic jungle biome added by Alpha Biomes. So let's check it out. On the world map, it will tell you what special landforms a map tile has right down here. You can also search for a map tile in the vicinity that has your desired landform on it. Otherwise, it might take ages to try and find a specific landform just by clicking around. If you want to search the entire planet for a tile, you can go into the mod settings and change the search distance to maximum. Otherwise, it's only going to search within a 50 tile radius of the original tile you selected. So let's check out the new landforms. Over on the coast, we have a few options. Some of them are out in the ocean. Raids and other events will still happen as normal even on island tiles or waterbound tiles, as there will always be at least one map edge of shallow water that ponds and animals can traverse across. So we have the traditional coast feature from vanilla, but I kind of think that with this mod, the coast has a more natural shape to it and there's a lot of variation in the shape of the coast as well. There's also a coast with cliff, which has a mountainous area backed up to a coast. I love this map. You could have like a little fishing and mining village. I feel like the possibilities are endless. There's also a coastal island, and you can caravan easily to the mainland just one tile over because of the shallow water. Same for a proper island. It's just further out in the water, so it would take longer to do the caravan, but it's still shallow water, so you could still get there. You could also choose an atoll for an interesting challenge, or an archipelago, which would be borderline impossible to build on and defend, in my opinion, but looks really cool. There's also a cove, which feels super cozy to me, though it might also be kind of hard to defend. And there's a variant of it with an island in the cove as well, which could be kind of fun for like a small colony, because you could probably condense everybody's important living quarters onto that island and kind of see how that played out with raids. There's a peninsula, which generates as land surrounded on 3 sides by water, and a tombolo, which is similar except with kind of a bottleneck leading into that mainland part here. There's also a land bridge connecting the mainland to an island. That one's pretty cool. And then we get into the land-bound map types. There are a few with lakes as the primary focus. You can have a basic lake, which will have a little deep water in it that you cannot traverse or build bridges on unless you have a bridge mod. I've landed on a couple lake tiles, and they drastically vary in size from like a pond to huge. If you land on a tile with a lake containing an island, it will say that, but just know that the lake is going to take up most of your map. There's also a dry lake, which is probably the most anticlimactic map type added by this mod. It's just the same as a lake, except for instead of water, you have sand and soft sand where the lake used to be. Then there is a cirque, which in reality is formed by glaciers carving depressions into mountains and valleys, which often end up with lakes in the center called tarns. So in the game, this will look like a very mountainous tile with a bowl-shaped area carving into it that contains a lake or a pond. Here's what one looks like in real life. This is the Granite Creek Tarn in Alaska. Stunning. Then we have Caldera map, which is a collapsed volcano containing a lake in the middle. I just started a playthrough with this map on Twitch, and I'm finding it quite easy to defend in-game so far, although I've only gotten tribal raids. I was actually surprised the first time I landed on a caldera tile. It just looked like a mountain. The middle was not open until I carved in and revealed the area. However, not all the caldera maps are like that. A real-life example of a caldera is Crater Lake in Oregon, which I highly recommend visiting if you're ever in the Pacific Northwest, one of the most beautiful places I've been. Then there is the crater map, which is a small circular clear area in the middle of a mountainous region and a little pathway to get in. There's usually a small pond or lake in it as well, although I have landed on one map tile that did not contain that. This is also easy to defend, but you would almost inevitably have to deal with insects. There are also 2 oasis types. Just your regular oasis, which is a fertile area with water in the middle of a map, and an ice oasis, which is an area of arable soil in the middle of an ice sheet. You can also land on a tile containing a lone mountain, so that's just one large hill with overhead mountain, or a tile with a swamp hill, which is a small buildable area in the middle of swamp and mud. I will admit I fail to see the appeal of that one. I guess it's going to be harder for raids to get to you because I have to trek through all that mud, but the scarce building space just kills me. Last but not least, there are 3 map types that I've wanted something along the lines of for quite some time, so I'm excited about. First up is the valley, where you have a wide area bordered on each side by a mountain with a river running down the middle. Then there's a canyon, which is similar to a valley, except it is much more narrow. And last but not least, there's a rift, which is extremely narrow. This is another one that would be easy to defend against raids as long as you're up for battling infestations. So that's it for this new landforms mod. Let me know down in the comments if you've tried any of these new map types yet, and if so, what you think of them. If you're planning on trying it, let me know what landform you are most excited for. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.